In this video, we're taking a look at the HP Omen 15. So this is a mid-range slash budget gaming laptop that won't break your bank account if you're looking for that PC slash laptop gaming experience. But is it really any good? This one right here, what we're reviewing is the i5 variant with a GTX 1650. The refresh rate on this is 60 Hz only. It's a 1080p panel. Obviously that's upgradable, but the one we have is the 60 Hz panel. So this is the budget of the budget. Now, obviously this isn't a very new laptop. This came out sometime late December here in Malaysia. We actually used it for our Valorant tournament live stream. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was a lot of fun, and I actually didn't have a PC at home to be able to game on, and that's when HP sent us this, and we decided to do a full review on this in the budget lineup of gaming laptops.
So let's begin by talking about the build quality and the design on the HP Omen 15. One thing that I really liked about it right off the bat is that it doesn't scream gamer laptop in your face. It's more minimalistic looking than anything else. Powering it on, you do get those RGB lightings for the keyboard, which looks pretty nice. I guess if you're into that stuff, you'll really enjoy that because it isn't anything short of looking like a gaming laptop in that one regard. But overall, the aesthetic to it is not very flashy, and that's something that I really appreciated about the overall design too. You have the O15 logo on the right side of the laptop that is visible only at certain lighting angles, very minimalistic, alongside the stickers for the i5 and the GTX from Nvidia. Lastly, at the back, you have the diamond Omen logo, which is a gradient from blue to green. And I like how it looks. Some people didn't like it, but to me, it looks pretty nice. You also have very subtle Omen branding at the bottom. Now let's take a look at the various input-output ports found on this. There's a pretty big selection. Omen was very nice with this. You get two USB-As, a mini display port, as well as a Thunderbolt if you want an external GPU for some reason, Ethernet LAN cable input, which is a very unique design, another USB input, HDMI output, and then you have the headphone jack as well as an SD card slot for the creators out there. You also have an above average camera for this 720p in recording. It also has an indicator light right next to it in case you want to know whether the camera's on or not. This is pretty good, I guess, in terms of Zoom video calls or conferencing quality for productivity. Pretty good there. The build to the hinge and the overall wobble to it was a bit annoying to me. It goes back 180 degree, which I really didn't understand, but it was very bendy. The plastic feel to it was very bendy, and I feel like if you put books on it or whatever and put it in your backpack with books, this might cause some long-term damage. It doesn't bother me necessarily, but I feel like this is something to keep in account. The trackpad as well, very average, nothing great, nothing to talk about here, but it gets the job done. You would be using it with the mouse most times anyway, so I guess that's fine. Now let's talk about the keyboard on this, because this was something that right away as I started using it, I disliked. It's got a shallow key travel, and it's overall just not enjoyable to use. I felt like I was making a lot more mistakes while trying this keyboard out than any other laptop that I've reviewed or tried out in my personal life. For gaming and all, it's perfectly fine, but I think for typing, it's not a great experience. The speakers on this are located at the bottom right and bottom left of the laptop, not to be confused with the air intake grills that are found above the keyboard. Those are for air intake and not the actual speakers like a lot of people thought. There's also an air vent for hot air to leave on the right side of the laptop, as well as a massive one found at the back of the laptop, which is where all the hot air goes out from, which helps to regulate the temperature and keep it a lot cooler. It's got a dual fan system located at the bottom of the laptop. The size of the fans is 15% bigger than the previous generations, as well as having a 25% increase in the fin size. This results in an overall 62% increase in the max airflow. All that sounds really great, but it does come with a pretty annoying price. That is the fan sound. So putting it up all the way to the max, the room sound goes from 36 decibels all the way up to 56 decibels, which is quite loud. And this would be pretty annoying to the people around you and can be a little bit uncomfortable to the ears after a while because it's pretty darn loud. So keep that in mind as well. Now let's look at the HP Omen Control Center or the OMEN Gaming Hub. This is the control center for everything gaming or the aesthetic of the laptop. You can find the Omen 15 there, where you can control pretty much every single aspect of it and monitor the condition of it, as well as having things like undervolting, controlling your lighting, where you can pretty much change your lighting for the keyboard, whichever way you want to do it, pretty customizable there, as well as looking at your performance control, which is a little bit confusing to me because the lower end version only has the balanced mode in performance control, while the higher end versions with the i7, i9, and the 2070 or the AMD version have more control in terms of performance, and you can control more things apart from just the fan speeds and being able to control how loud the fan is or how powerful the fan is. So this only gives you that. It can be a little bit limiting.
Just like our last gaming laptop video, we're not really doing the benchmarking numbers, the temperatures and all that stuff. There's a lot of people out there that do it way better than we do. So we're going to be linking all of those in the description if you want to check those out. This is more of an everyday gamer's perspective on the HP Omen 15 baseline edition.
Now getting to a reason why a lot of people are here, the actual gaming. I played games like Valorant, Call of Duty Warzone, Apex Legends, and Fortnite because they are the most trending games. And I would say the performance overall was pretty satisfactory. It's very comparable to playing on a previous generation console like the PS4, where you can game pretty comfortably, but don't expect like insane performance in terms of your FPS and the graphics you can get out of it while maintaining FPS. For Warzone, for example, I used the optimal settings recommended for the 1650, and I was still able to get between 60 to 70 FPS, but while I started getting into actual Battle Royale games, my frame rate would drop down to 50 FPS, even 47 FPS. The consistent number, I guess you could say, for this was between 60 and 70. That was on the higher end, but it would definitely drop, and I had way more screen tearing than I expected. Especially when I was moving my mouse around very quickly, I did experience a lot of screen tearing compared to other gaming laptops that I've tried before. So this is something that you might want to keep in mind. If you're using higher resolutions or trying to push for higher frame rates, screen tearing can be a problem. You can definitely turn on VSync, but that could result in a few frame drops and overall the experience being a little bit slower than what you are used to if you're playing on a higher end PC or even a higher end gaming laptop. Remember how I said I didn't really like the keyboard? Well, for the gaming side of things, it's not too terrible. And the fact that the palm rest isn't massive, I could comfortably rest my palm on it and have my watch hang off the edge without having that uncomfortable feeling like I did with the Asus ROG Strix Scar 15. So overall, it gives you a little bit more than a console-like experience. In Apex Legends, I was able to get about 90 FPS, but that also dropped down to about 60 in high-intensive situations. Fortnite, on max settings, you can get up to 90 FPS, while if you turn it down to about a medium or a low, you can push up to 180 FPS, which is pretty great. So why not just get a console? Well, this can also do productivity apart from just running PC games as well. The productivity on this was actually quite pleasant. Like I said, it doesn't have that very loud gaming laptop look, which really allows for you to carry it around anywhere. It isn't very heavy either, like I mentioned already, so you can pretty much just switch off all the lights if you want with a shortcut and you're good to go. You're in work mode now and no one would know that this is really a gaming laptop. Couple that with the webcam, zoom call capability, and being able to use battery life for about 3 to 4 hours. It isn't really great, but yeah, you can get away with productivity as well.
Now with the whole gaming and performance thing out of the way, here's what I think this laptop is ideally for. Now, if you're someone looking for the sweet spot between having an everyday laptop or even a working laptop and a gaming laptop, this might be the one for you. The reason for that obviously is going to be a couple of things. Number one being, it's not a very in-your-face flashy gaming laptop. I mean, its design overall is very nice, clean and aesthetic, and it doesn't weigh a ton. Even the battery adapter isn't very huge to charge it up. So that taken into consideration, it feels like it's a very nice everyday, even work laptop. But at the same time, if you just want to sit down, put your headphones on, get your gaming goggles on and start playing with your friends, you can actually do that. And not a lot of laptops that are everyday friendly or work friendly can pull that off. So it doesn't do it amazingly, but you can do that. So in my opinion, the HP Omen 15 is the perfect hybrid laptop at the given price point and the specs levels for the 1650 with the i5 that we're talking about. Now in terms of pros and cons, there aren't many to talk about, so I'm just going to go through this very quickly. I think the build quality is okay. It looks nice, visually it's really nice, but I think it could be worked on a little bit better. It feels a little bit more plasticky, especially the wobble on it feels like it wobbles way too much. The bend on the screen at the top can be long-term damaging. The thermals on this are really great. It wasn't hot to the touch either, so the thermals worked really well. With the 2 air outputs and the 1 intake, worked pretty decently for me. The sound quality was pretty decent as well. It got pretty loud, like it could get uncomfortable. It was that loud at some points. So sound performance really nice. Almost zero bass though, by the way. So if you're into the bass thing, you might be a little bit disappointed. Now when it comes to the display as well, pretty decent, not the best display I've seen. The display on this is the 60 Hz, so it's cheaper than 144 or even the 300 Hz, so expect some downgrades in the screen performance as well. The colors aren't 100% accurate. In my opinion, they look a little bit flush, but overall pretty decent performance for the price you're paying for the display. I guess one of the cons would be that the control center or the gaming hub on this doesn't give you that much control with the lower end versions of the Omen 15. I do know that the ones with the 2070, the higher end ones, let you control it from base mode to performance mode to balanced, and you can actually control how it works rather than just having control on your thermals, just slapping on the fan that goes. So yeah, that's a little bit annoying that the lower end doesn't get that. So if you're getting the lower end, just know that you won't get those additional controls. There are a lot of other laptops out there within the same range if you're looking exclusively for really well-performing gaming laptops, especially something like the Lenovo IdeaPad Gaming 3, I think it's called. Same specs, similar specs, lower price, you can get better performance with a 120Hz display and 16 gigs of RAM. So those things are something you can consider. We can link some down in the description if you're interested. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button and do consider subscribing for more content just like this. And we'll be seeing you again in the next video. Bye-bye. How do you like the lights, by the way? Pretty sick, right?